Hi friends. So in the earlier lecture, you have learned about what are the benefits and goals of DevOps, and also you have seen the real life world example of DevOps, right? So let's understand in this lecture, if you want to build your career in DevOps, what are all the requirement you should have, right? So for becoming a DevOps engineer, so I will talk about India. So in India, the DevOps engineer base package start with around 10 lakh per annum. So if you want to become a DevOps engineer, so you should have a bunch of tools or bunch of skill knowledge acquired. Okay, so let's discuss about those skills and tools. So first one is scripting skills. So you should be aware of some imperative programming languages like Ruby, Perl, Python, or JavaScript. And also you should be aware of declarative languages. And one of the declarative languages is used in DevOps is YAML. Okay, yet another markup language. So if you want to learn about it, I have that course in my playlist. You can go through it. Okay. Now that's it for our scripting skills, and also it includes your bash scripting. So bash scripting is also one of the important skill you should be consider if you want to learn DevOps practice, right? Next one is you should have a decision making skill. So this is a basic skill. It is not only required for DevOps engineer. This is required for every other role out there in IT world. Okay, so DevOps engineer must have an exceptional decision making skills to make quick and confident decision. Okay, so whenever needed, you can take decision individually or a teamwork. So you should be in confident in that. Now, this is why you need to be aware of decision making skill. This is because that the ability to make quick decision can facilitate speedy deployment of a new code and fast development. Okay. Now, the second one is knowledge of infrastructure. Okay, so you should be aware of the knowledge of infrastructure, all the seven layer of architecture, from starting from application layer to data layer. So you should be aware of all the layer those are coming in between. So DevOps professional must have a deep understanding of various IT infrastructure and platform. So you should be aware of web servers, content management, routers, operating system. So one of the operating system used in DevOps is Linux, and Linux is also not limited to DevOps. So basically, every software developer out there is using Linux. They are not relying on any other operating system like Windows or Mac OS. They are using Linux OS. Okay, and along with it, you should be also aware about data centers, networking, and the cloud infrastructure. Okay, now the cloud infrastructure is very big. So whether you are going to learn Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud, you should be aware of that. Now, next one is we should have a collaboration skills. So basically, in DevOps, both IT and software development teams are work together, right? We have understood with the help of diagram. So there should be a collaboration skills between this. So suppose if something went down, you should be aware of how you can communicate, how you can collaborate with each other team, and how you can become a successful in DevOps field, right? Now, next one we have communication skills. So whether you are working individually on a particular piece of code or if you are working in a team, you should have a better communication skill. You should be aware of all verbal and non-verbal skills including in this. These are also called soft skill, and these collaboration skills and communication skills is not limited to only to DevOps. These are the needed skill in every other line in IT world. Okay, so these two are soft skills, and these are also looked by every employer in an IT world. Now the next and not last is our technical skills. So basically you should be aware of most important tools used in DevOps practice. Okay, so whether you are deploying code, there are 10 or 15 plus tools out there. If you are considering for continuous integration your code, there are 10 plus tools out there, but you don't need to learn about all those tools. So if you are learning about 2 3 tools, that's enough. So suppose if one tool is not working in your infra, or it is having some licensing issue, you can use the other tools. So also, it should not you should not rely on only one tool. So suppose if you are considering continuous integration, you have given a role, you and your team have given a role for continuous integration, so you guys should not rely only on Jenkins. So suppose if it is not going to work, how you are going to provide a result to the customer? So for this, you should be aware of another tool like Circle CI or Travis CI. Similarly, for build, you should not be relying only on Maven, you should be relying on uh, Gradle also, right? Similarly, there are various tools if you are looking for cloud. So you can consider for Google Cloud Platform, Amazon Web Services, or Azure. Both all of these three are leading cloud technologies. If you want to manage your infrastructure, you have Ansible Playbook, Terraform. Okay. If you want to containerize your application, you have Docker and Kubernetes. If you want to orchestrate your deployment, you have Docker Compose and Kubernetes. So you name it, the tool, the DevOps tool is have that. Okay, so there are various tool, and we will learn about in category which tools come in which category in which phase. So we'll learn about those things in later in our lectures. Okay, so I'm hoping the brief info, if you want to build your career, which skill you should have and what tools you require to learn. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this lecture. In the next lecture, we will learn processes or life cycle and also the 7 C's of DevOps, right? So till then, take care.